everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in, and come on in. All right, so we're going to start off with some affirmations for today. It's almost like the thing that I feel is it wants you to start off like it's mediocre. That's the energy that it's given. But mind you, you're so much more. Yesterday I was listening to something, right? Which every time this person comes across my timeline, I don't really like seeing them. And the reason why I really don't like seeing them is because I feel like it's one of those things that got put into the system. They're one of the people that got put into the system in order to appease or to just give you something. Like, this is the face. This is the representation, right? I don't want to be represented by that. And so it is like, I'm going to describe the people for you. So do you remember when you were in, like, middle school? Because, you know, they want it to be mediocre, so it's the middle, the median. But mind you, it's also everything. It's whether or not you want to go this way or you go this way. It's like the people that become police officers. A lot of times people know that the people that become police officers are the people that used to get bullied in school, is, you know, and for entertainment purposes only, this is just what people think. So then all of a sudden they get behind, you know, the badge, and then they start doing weird random stuff to people, right? Because they felt like they had no voice. And that could be true or not, all right? This is just the thought pattern behind it, right? Or it is where I have to give you a face. It has to be the token. So when I see this person, although they get admitted into a lot of places, I feel like they would lie to the collective or the public because they can be controlled. It's that type. And so, not for nothing, a lot of us know that those types can be controlled, so we don't subscribe to that. Or so it gives the effect or the feeling like, I don't know why this is being blocked. It gives the effect or the feeling like this person has access, but they only have access up until. And so, which is also making me feel like how a lot of the streamers right now are going places and doing stuff, and they're kind of exposing, you know, lies and things that are being told. But meanwhile, this person that they try to give you as, you know, the token, went to the same location, but they didn't give you what these people are giving you. So when some of the streamers that are visiting some of these places, it's being raw, right? It's giving the truth. And so it's that. It is not the middle. It is what can be accepted. I think that's what it is. So anyway, I am, I know, I see, I choose, I become, I align, I rise, I move in truth, I exit in purpose, I am beyond limits. And so this is the thing. Sometimes the highest level isn't more words. It's pure awareness and certainty. So when you can spot that, like, this is not somebody that represents me. It is somebody that they have given us that they think can represent. But the energy don't give anything or anybody that I would follow. The energy just gives, I know what you were when you were in elementary school, middle school, high school, and going forward. You are like you represent the color, but you don't represent the color. All right, you don't represent the collective. And a lot of times when I see a lot of these dudes that are talking that have been granted access, it is not for the people. That's what I'm gonna say. At least not for me. So there's that. I am rooted in truth beyond perception. I am that I am. My DNA is active. My DNA is aware. My DNA is very much aware of the lies that have been put into the system. That there is somebody that is programming and it don't represent me. It doesn't even like me. It doesn't like me to the tune of it would prefer that I would just go away and not show up every day and not put question marks or thoughts into people's heads that provoke them, because I'm not putting thoughts into anybody's head. It is just provoking for somebody to think beyond, the program. Why is this that way? Who exists beyond those people that they're trying to say are the puppet masters or the puppeteers? And so with that being said, every time I show up, I have to say for entertainment purposes only, because of the fact that if I'm not entertaining, or if I'm not, spreading false hopes and lies, and or maybe the fact that I'm saying what I'm saying and it goes beyond what they have programmed, they deem me as being the false identity. Meanwhile, all I'm saying is, let's think outside the box. That's it, that's all. Why do we have to be put inside the box for everybody to think the same exact things? Why does it have to look like a cookie cutter? Who does that help? Because that's not the way the world is. The world is full of fascinating, everybody is different, opinions can be different, options. Because not for nothing, right? And this is one of the things. They want me to be okay, and you also, because even if you're on the flip side of that, you have to want to be okay with it, right? So everything that we are seeing right now, it was okay once upon a time, as long as it didn't pertain to the people that were putting it into the system, right? And so now it's being shown that God don't like ugly, and he ain't too fond of cute either, right? So why do I have to be covered up, or silenced, or made to look incompetent, if all I'm doing is pointing out or revealing or uncovering what is being done? I'm not making it up. It's actually there for everybody to see. And so the fact of the matter is as long as it can be done without anybody saying anything, then it's acceptable. This is the program. But mind you, on the other side of that, the people who benefit from the program being that way don't care to say anything. Why? Because membership has its privileges. And it's almost like beating a dead horse. Because why is it on repeat? Why do you keep saying it? Why is it not being made to where it is, mainstream knowledge that this has been this way for a very, very long time? And so in this system, you want me to be happy about being covered up, being made to feel less than, or to be made to feel invisible, if I say anything remotely revealing or uncovering about the actions. And so this makes a lot of people, go the other direction and just automatically want to play in the system, meaning I'm going to be silent as long as my family gets taken care of. I'm going to benefit off the system as long as I don't say anything out of the way. Because if I start, playing nice and doing the things that they want me to do, but that's not what my system was programmed to do. My system was programmed to tell the truth from very, very long ago. And so, I don't know what you want me to say. I can't negotiate my truth or the truth of this being shown for cushy comfort. And so in that case, it is deemed that a person will have to lose everything, including their life, entertainment purposes only, everything, including their life, to protect a broken system that don't like me or anybody that's like me. Meanwhile, you raise your children, you raise the small people in this system for them to become older. You tell them to be good people. You tell them to don't hurt, harm, and danger. You tell them to, live off merit. Like, if you do good things, then you're going to be fully well taken care of. This is what we teach the younger people, the younger generation. But that's not how it plays out into adulthood. Because you have to lie, cheat, and steal in a system that is designed to do as I say, not as I do. Because you have to literally follow the rope, follow the line to a T. And so when I see a lot of those people talking, and they will say, oh, the system is da 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 da. I didn't make it up. So where is your perception or thought process of what's happening? Where is that coming from? Because, again, it's here for everybody to see. It also goes back even to entertainment purposes only. Books that were read pre-now, like a long time ago, where the people who wrote them don't exist anymore, but they're foretelling now. And so one would have to think. But then even the timelines, are doing a weird thing. Because now I'm noticing big box companies, their names are saying something different than where I'm from and what I'm used to. And yes, people can change, and yes, people can rebrand, elevation and growth. But a lot of these places will tell you that it never happened. So why is it that I can remember it being this? There's a whole group of people that can remember it being this, but these people can't. So what if they're not lying? What if they're not lying? And that's all I have to say as far as that's concerned. Because two things could be true at the same time. It's like when I told y'all the story yesterday about someone showing up to my house in my B, the Men in Black, because I gave them, they said, because I don't know if I did that or not. This is what I was told. This could just be the way that they got in, right? And so I paid my car payment, I told y'all, at Wawa. All of a sudden, a couple months later, when I done forgot about the whole entire car payment, everything, they show up and all of a sudden they're saying, you gave us counterfeit money. No, I didn't. Well, you're guilty until proven innocent. Again, entertainment purposes only. Because they said I did. I didn't see the money come back into my hands or into my possession to know if it was counterfeit or not. All I know is they said you need to be at this location at this point in time because we need to discuss this. And then after we started discussing it, the reason why I was guilty until proven innocent is because the person that gave them or was dispersing the money or spreading the money was a person that, come to find out, was related to me, but I've never met this person. And so in the system, it would almost think that she's a liar because that's her cousin. Mind you, he's not a distant cousin. He's a first or second cousin. Why did she never meet him? I don't know, but I never met him. Even to this day, I still don't know what that person looks like. Don't know who that person is. All I know is that I ended up, with my children's father. And my children's father knows a part of my family that I don't know, because they grew up in the same area. I didn't even grow up in that area where that particular person's from, but also I don't know a whole lot about that side of my family. I just know that my mom, her brothers and sisters, immediate ones, and those children, because those are the children that I grew up with. I don't know my grandmom's outside other part of the family. I don't know them. And so with that being said, instantly, nobody can believe that, because that person, again, being so closely related, I should have met them. But I never did. So my truth was my truth. Somebody that is trying to put together a case, not knowing that, they automatically just assume. And so they may be or may have assumed that during the prophecies, the greatest story never told, entertainment purposes only. During the prophecies, the things that were being written about, or maybe it could just be the things that were seen, because if this person was a child at that time, I'm going through this too. This is going on everywhere. The wealth transfer is coming. God is speaking. And it's funny because do you mind me asking, when did you hear about the wealth transfer? This is what I need to know, because I'm gonna tell you something, right? And not for nothing, you can go and look it up, right? I glitched at once upon a time, right? 4 years ago. That's funny, because it's been about 5 since I glitched, right? So this happened December 2021, 2022, 23, 24, 25, 26, right? So we could say we're on the same timeline. So you may be connected to the gathering, right? And so when I glitched December 21st, December 21 going into 22, New Year's, something happened. Instantly, I was different. I was very awake, very aware. I wasn't drinking, wasn't drugging, wasn't nothing. I was literally here in this house all by myself, right? And the thing that happened was, this is how I can tell you it happened. But somewhere there's some time that's missing, okay? So it was going into New Year's. Mind you, I had already started. Something had started happening, right? And their New Year's. Because like I said, even if people don't believe that, New Year's is the New Year's, whatever they did in order to construct that thing, it's still stuff being done. So entertainment purposes only. All right. They're saying the same thing. All right. Okay. So 2021, I started noticing that I could smell. And I don't mean, normal smells. I started noticing outside smells. Like I'm here and it shouldn't be happening. because it smells like this in here, but something else smells different, right? So I wasn't really paying it any mind, but I made note. And then the weird thing was other people started saying the same thing. All right, but this is during the time during the glitch, right? So what happened was when the clock struck 12, 2022, I literally started texting everybody and I started sending messages. But on that moment, I could tell I wasn't the same. My face, everything, my voice, but that's not the first time that happened to me. But I made note. So the thing that I really made note was that I sent out Happy New Year to everybody, because again, transition, and psychologically, maybe, somebody would say that because I was going through something at the time, separation, divorce, they would try to say that I would have been mentally something, right? But mind you, I was better than I ever have been, just so y'all know. Anyway, I sent out Happy New Year. Something happened in the system though, to where none of those people got it, but something didn't translate. So by January the 3rd is when all of a sudden my phone flooded in, right? With so many different messages that I'm guessing should have came to me, because it seemed like if they were responding to what I said, then that means they got the message when I sent the message. Could be or could not, right? Well, I'm not going to say that, Regina. I'm going to say that that's when a lot of people got the download, and that's when a lot of people, or that's when a lot of people got the upload, all right? That's what I'm going to say, because that's what they want you to believe, but I was never that. I was very aware. Mind you, to the tune of the amount of stuff that I was getting and that was being uploaded into me. Oh, couldn't take the upload. Yes, I agree. I know what you mean now. So a lot of stuff that was being uploaded into me and into my system was correct. Like, I don't know how I was doing it, but it was almost like I was a computer. And the amount of information that was coming was also being proven because of what people were doing. So when I got the upload and it said this da-da-da-da-da, people were doing da-da-da-da-da. The phone call, like literally to the tune of, I would hear, this person is about to call you. This person called me. This person is about to do this. This person did this. To the tune of everybody started looking at me like I was very weird and very strange. Mind you, I'm looking at myself very weird and very strange, because how the hell are you doing that, ma'am? It's not making sense. It's not adding up. But meanwhile, it was making very clear sense and was adding up. So when they started talking about the wealth transfer, this is one of the uploads that was being given to me. And I was able to explain it in a way that nobody else could. And so again, it's right on my channel, right on YouTube. I ain't got to lie to nobody. And then I started noticing a lot of information being regurgitated. Like literally, it was as if bigger platforms were watching my stuff, and literally they were repeating what I said. This is the reason why I'm asking, only because either they repeated what I said or they got the upload too, and then they started ignoring some of the things that was being given. Because I know what I heard. I know what everybody was told. And if they can regurgitate that, then that means they got told the same exact thing too. And so the wealth transfer, for anybody that, was paying attention or needed to know, was based off of what is written in heaven. not what is written down here, because down here they tell a whole bunch of lies. And so I thought they was repeating too. They in the loop. Yeah, and I'm sick of it. And see, that's where, to me, I'm over. Like, I'm beyond, because we already seen it. Now, what are we going to do about it? We already saw it. And so when it came to the wealth transfer, heaven has accurate records. So to explain it here, it would be almost like, people saying they have royal bloodlines, this, that, and the third, because, it's a beautiful thing to hear and a beautiful thing to have. But meanwhile, you are the child of a concubine. You're a child of a side hoe. But because your mother was married to, King da 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 da, and you were the one that was the legitimate, you should have been the legitimate heir. But meanwhile, your mom was in them slave quarters because your dad really wasn't messing with her. The king or the, whatever. Or even it comes down to women being the actual legitimate heir to the throne. But remember, at certain points in times, they had to marry in order to carry it on, but that didn't belong to the father's family. It belonged to the mother's family. And so either way, what history documented, entertainment purposes only, is not true. It is his story. The people that are here, and this is the reason why when everybody start talking about them, imaginary families that exist but don't, and saying that they are the ones that are pulling the strings, they're not pulling nothing. They may have been the ones that have their foothold in the door. They were the ones that told the lies. And this is the reason why they can say this goes back to this, that, and the third. But to me, it's stolen seeds. And God don't lie. The universe don't lie. The universe has been telling y'all for a long time that the stuff that we have now ain't shit compared to stuff that we had. Yes, I'm going through it now because actually fighting for my inheritance now is almost time. Is here. So if y'all look at the buildings and things of that nature from the past that they came and now they're telling you, why can't they replicate them? Because you don't start to regress in a system unless, why? I don't have to give you any information. All I can say is go look at what was already here. You have buildings that have certain insignias and things on them, but if the actual heir to it don't even know that they are the actual heir to it, and these people who came along and started just handing out, paperwork saying this is the rule of, we were never to be governed by them. But how did we end up being governed by them? Even so much so that it's still older people, and I ain't saying nothing and I'm not judging nobody, but people would like to be told what to do so bad that they will put themselves under a system for it to just be okay. Like, make it go away. Like, you mean to tell me if I just fall in line, I'll be, okay? Sometimes you're going to have to go to war about some stuff. And whether the saying what they say, stand for nothing or fall for anything. You're not going to tell me that we had better things then and now you want to create a system. The houses are worse. But mind you, how are they digging this stuff up? It exists. I'm not making it up. It's not a figment of my imagination. It's there. Some of the buildings are still being used. So you're going to have to make it make sense. And it's not making sense and it's not adding up. But meanwhile, the algorithm. Let's see what this means. It is a thing where even collectively we should understand about language. Every day we wake up and we're casting spells over ourselves, because I literally showed you yesterday where the language was borrowed. Entertainment purposes only. How do you borrow if yours is the one? That means yours is not the one. There was something previously and you borrowed or stole, because it's the same depending upon who we talking to. If I come to your house and I borrow something without asking you, I stole it. Man, if I knew how wicked this man, if you knew how wicked this world is and the people you live with. Regina, I know, like, literally, again, when the uploads were given, like, the amount of just know that they also know you exist. This is the thing. They know I exist. They know you exist. I don't even have to look at it. Regina, at the end of the day, if it's the same, we are the same. The system, we have our own journeys, our own pathways, our own, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just certain things that I don't have to do. I'm not going to do. So even when people come along, because sometimes I wonder, like, it's been so much like attachments trying to send. I just don't. Because at the end of the day, I don't trust it. I don't trust it because of I'm aware. And when you're aware, you pay attention to everything. And so, the bots will try to come and they'll say, oh, well, maybe it's this. And maybe you're, da 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 da. Maybe you're just, slow and not paying attention. And I'm not judging anybody that is slow. I'm just saying that we can go look up certain things. So they will try to now demonize me and try to make it seem like, oh, she's possessed. Da 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 da. Well, even under possession, right? Why are you still so slow that you would rather fall in line under a system that don't like you? It don't care for you. And if you want to teach me and, provoke me and, tell me that God is love, why are you not loving? Why do you always come under steal, kill, destroy? You trying to get rid of our books. Not making it up. It's there. Trying to wipe away my history. Not making it up. It's there. Mind you, so successfully that I don't even know who my second cousin is. I only know who was right in our face. My mom's immediate brothers and sisters. My dad, I know all my aunts and uncles. I don't even know their children. I know a select few of the kids. So when people are claiming me, I don't be knowing these people. So for anybody that comes and they can say, oh, that's her cousin, that's her da 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 da, I don't know them. So anybody that would be asking anybody remotely to the family, this, that, and third, I don't know them. That's how successful this was. But literally growing up, I remember it being a village, because in Clark's Corner, guess what? My dad's family was there. The kids were growing up. The kids were growing up with the kids. So I remember that. But then after a while, everybody dispersed and went wherever they went. But guess what? Yes, I had to cut my family off. I know them and they ain't right. I don't know mine. But mind you, not for nothing, I'm going to tell you, my name is Golden Girl for a reason. I think my family loves me. Anytime I ever showed up, guess what? They all happy to see me. Now, when I went through the glitch and I started just cussing everybody out, that may have made a little bit of a rift in the system. But at the end of the day, I don't think that my family don't love me. I don't think that. I think that maybe they don't understand me. I think that maybe they also wish that I would just fall in line, but I wasn't sent here to fall in line. My DNA is on autopilot, excuse me, and my DNA is saying, y'all gonna have to question some stuff because you have to make it make sense to me. I don't like being told what to do. I've never been like being told what to do. And if I am a sovereign entity, a free entity, a free energy, I don't want you leeching off of my energy. I don't want you being able to energy harvest off of me. Meanwhile, guess what? Every day I sat here in front of this system, I'm being energy harvested because of the fact that I now have to bring myself in front of the system to now tell people stuff that they should already know. It's already there. It's already there. Mind you, so much entertainment purposes only, even so much to where older books are now even coming up to me, and it's people describing exactly what happened right now. So how many times have we been in this loop? And this is the reason why I understand why the younger kids don't like the older people. Because y'all don't want to fight for nothing. Y'all are so easy and happy to lay down because you don't want any problems. I understand, right? And this is where God works with my heart every day, right? And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because do unto others as you would have them do unto you. In my lessons and my studies, you know, up in the heaven, right? They keep telling me, don't do the same thing to other people because then you would be like them. So it goes for that. But all I heard initially was, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So when they strike, like they be having them signs on them things, one of yours, all like I be thinking shit like that. So the fact that they could put that, you know, out in the plain sight, and then we feel like, oh, you know, we're going to let God handle it, da 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 da. But meanwhile, it's right in our face because this is their journey, right? They have to do the right thing. But God keeps showing me, you follow your journey, you follow your pathway. But God, you see, and mind you, this is where some people would say, you know, I could be wrong because they'll say that you believe in God, right? Well, I'm going to tell you why I believe in God. I believe in God because miracles happen around me every day. There's stuff that happens that I could never have even fathomed. And I know because I wanted this, right? These are the things that I wanted. And then all of a sudden God steps in and God puts me in a better place, in a better predicament. But I know what I wanted, right? And then God shows me something different. So it could be the conditioning that maybe I didn't think that, you know, I deserved that or I should have that. But there's also things that I, you know that I could deserve and have and I don't want it. Right? Right. So in that aspect, this is the reason why I can, you know, say God exists. Right? Some people don't like that. They want me to believe that it is me. God is me. God is in me. I'm created in an image. So I would have DNA of, you know, this is the reason why I can do very special things, right? This is the reason why I would get that upload, because I would be connected and part of, right? But also I'm aware to the point that when I read something, I can comprehend, I can understand. So, or understand, my DNA activates and it says, this is true, this is not. So even in, when they try to give me stuff or gave them stuff, they can give them that good book and they still read over certain things. But I get it, because when you see it is when you're meant to hear it. When you're meant to hear it is when you're meant to see it. So it's certain things that will go over people's heads, right? Like in the story, and I'm gonna get the actual thing. All right, so in the story of David and Goliath, right? It tells us that giants existed. So they will say it's a metaphorical thing based off the fact that, you know, David being the little person and the giant being somebody bigger. So I could be David in this system. I could die today, right? Based off of them people in this system deciding that they're sick and tired of me showing up here every day, saying what I'm saying. So they're going to try to make it look like either natural causes or, put me in a car accident. That's what they do, right? Either way, just know that I said what I said and I did my part. Even for the people who, want to be complacent in the system. Again, entertainment purposes only. And y'all just want to lay down and, take it. I don't want to take it. I don't want to give nobody nothing. You're not authorized, okay? That. So, in that story, they will say it's metaphorical. It's the smallest of the people, this, that, and the third. And then, you're able to do this, right? So let's see. The Philistines and Israelites were at war. The Philistines had a giant warrior named Goliath, over 9 feet tall, heavily armored and terrifying. Every day, Goliath challenged the Israelites to send someone to fight him, mocking them and causing fear throughout their camp. David was a younger shepherd, not a soldier. He was sent by his father to bring food to the older brothers on the battlefield. Hearing Goliath taunt David, David was outraged that no one stood against that giant and challenged the fear with faith. All right, I'm sitting here, right? Because why are y'all not challenging the giant? David refused heavy armor, saying he could not walk in it. He trusted God and his own skills. He took only a slingshot and 5 smooth stones from a stream. Goliath laughed at him, but David declared he would fight him in the name of the Lord. With 1 stone slung perfectly, David struck Goliath in his forehead, and the giant fell. David then used Goliath's own sword to finish the victory, right? Now, this is the part that confuses me. So, I'm going to tell you what I just said. After it goes through all this, right, with 1 slingshot, David struck Goliath in the forehead and the giant fell. David then used Goliath's own sword to finish the victory. The message: courage, faith, and skill can overcome seemingly impossible obstacles. Red pill, blue pill, right? You have to choose. You have to be on this side. You have to be on this side. Meanwhile, neither one of these sides like us. Both sides have really literally put their foot on everybody's neck. But mind you, both sides were the one that stole, right? Because if you just showed up with documentation and this was my land, this land is your land, this land is my land, from da 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 to da 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 da. God said that anything that we can see belongs to us, right? Everything is yours, yet nothing is yours, right? And then somehow we allow these people to create documents. And again, I'm still wondering why their hands, feet, and neck didn't get cut off when they brought it, right? Because you could have stopped it when it was 5 people. But somehow the elders or the old people just literally allowed it to happen, and they didn't fight for what was theirs. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But history has proven and now have shown us that these people have their feet so embedded into whatever this is that I can almost guarantee you that that crest that they live under ain't theirs. So, but mind you, they can trace their relatives and everything back. But mind you, I can't even tell you who my second cousin is or my third cousin. But they can trace their lineages back to da 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 da. Meanwhile, I'm a melanated individual. You can't get this from that. Entertainment purposes only. Because again, the messenger gets killed around here. Okay? So, courage, faith, and skill can overcome seemingly impossible obstacles. I trust God. I trust God with my life. If I die today, I trust God with my life, right? So this is the reason why I come in front of y'all every day, because at this point, I don't give a fuck about what them people talking about. I can't, because I know they're lying. Power and size aren't what wins the battle. Clarity, precision, and belief in purpose do. David's confidence didn't come from his body, but from alignment with truth, preparation, and fearlessness. We're going to have to be fearless in some shit in order for some stuff. And God forgive me, don't mean to cuss words, but we're going to have to be fearless in order for whatever is about to happen. We will prevail if you know it. God don't tell lies. The system is being taken down. Regardless of whether or not y'all like it or not, this system has to come down. It's not our system. It don't like us. Entertainment purposes only. Now, I ask this because what do I tell y'all about the truth? If I only give you half a truth, it's going to be important for you to have the whole entire story. So, you can't tell me half a truth and think that I can now make an informed decision based off of, what they said. And just so y'all know, I don't believe none of it, but I believe all of it. Okay? Because when the story gets told and it exists, it now has been put into the system because words are powerful. Words are spells. The power of life and death is in the tongue. So once it gets spoken, it now manifests into the universe. And y'all can't tell me that that's not true either, because I'm telling y'all, I thought something, and then the next day it manifested in real life right here in my face. So we have to be mindful of the things that we talk about and the things that we say. But even that, a long time ago, there's a thing called etymology. It exists. It tells you where words came from. And so when etymology was in, position and it was being taught, you would automatically know when you were undoing your own, when you were creating your own demise, okay? Because the etymology of a word is important, because remember, we're casting spells. But I told y'all yesterday, it says, entertainment purposes only, English was borrowed. Borrowed from where? So every day you were being taught to undermine your DNA, undermine your pre-programming from what was already given to you, God's connection. Don't kill the messenger. I know y'all don't like it, and I know that, somebody's going to say, oh, well, you da-da-da. I don't care. I did my part. I'm doing my part. If you listen, you listen. If you don't, you don't. And furthermore, I'm only talking to me because guess what? When the system starts to do that thing of unwinding, untying, and trying to loop, I got documentation that I know I said it. So believe what you will, but you ain't going to trick me. I'm very much aware. So I said to this thing, because what it says is, if you want, I can turn this into a modern David versus Goliath affirmation set. Raw, fearless, empowering, the way you could use for your everyday use like I do, because I give affirmations, right? But mind you, undoing the corruption or the, what's the word? Conditioning, right? Because I got to figure out a way to get out of whatever they did. Okay? All right. So I said, in that story in the Bible, it says Goliath was with his brothers. Excuse me, because I know I heard that, right? So why did you give me half of the story? Why didn't you give me the whole entire story? Because guess what? You can't be as informed or make an informed decision if you don't have all the story. Right? Okay. So then it says, yes. That detail comes from 1 Chronicles 20:5. In the Bible, where more famous account, number 1, in 1 Samuel 17 focuses on David and Goliath. 1 Chronicles, as the Goliath had his brothers, sometimes called the giants as well. But in this reality or in this realm, even though there has been, things depicting giants in this nature, that is a fairy tale. It's a fable. So entertainment purposes only. But mind you, it's written. And I keep saying that there is a little bit of truth even told in a lie. You have, even when a person is lying to you, you have to be mindful that the truth, it had a base. It started off with a basis, a place, a location. All right, so then it says Goliath had brothers, sometimes called the giants as well. The Bible says that after David killed Goliath, his brothers were also giants, and some were involved in later battles with Israel. This shows that Goliath wasn't just one of obstacles. He came from a line of formidable warriors, emphasizing even more how extraordinary David's victory was. It highlights the idea of facing generational or systemic challenges, not a single enemy. All right, but see, this is the thing. I'm a person, right? I'm a human being. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy. I'm a human being, right? Right. Now tell me how many of y'all human beings that after a little person then just trampled on your brother, use his sword. How does David use a giant sword? That's neither here nor there, because remember, there's truth in a lie, but all I need for you to do is think, figure your way out of this, right? So even if we are David, right, and we went up against Goliath and we found a way to maneuver this big old sword. I don't know how I'm gonna maneuver a big ass sword, but either way, I can still get your ass going, right? Take it how it resonates. But ain't no way my brothers gonna stand there, or they gonna run away after the fact. So you mean to tell me that David killed Goliath, his brothers were also giants, and some were involved in later battles. How were they involved with later battles? But also, being David, I know that when I come for your ass, entertainment purposes only, when I come for your Goliath ass, I'm coming for every fucking thing, not just one of them. So somebody has to explain to me, metaphorically or not, explain to me, one, how David wielded a giant's sword to get rid of him, but also now you mean to tell me that his brothers left and didn't care? It's not adding up. But I'm going to tell you, as David, what it's going to be. When I make the decision to come for you, I'm coming for it all. Because I'm going to expect that your brothers are going to come for me later. I ain't going to let that happen. So, make it make sense is all I'm saying. And whether or not it's metaphorical, whether or not it's, made up, whether or not, it still don't make sense. But these are the things that go out, throughout time. And for some reason, it was just okay. Like, here, I'm going to take this, and this is my food, because this is the food, right? This is what they're feeding you. Because my uncle always tells me that church is for the sick. He ain't never lied, because all I hear is a bunch of sickness coming out of it. Like, literally, and they use the word. They use it in God's name. And I ain't judging nobody, and I ain't saying that you shouldn't do, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, look at the pathway. That's all I'm saying. And you have to make it make sense to me. And so when, even when people start that stuff, because I keep having to bring this up, hurt people, you have to make that make sense to me. I get how you would think that because you got hurt, that you should now go inflict that on everybody, but I don't get that. Because in my mind, the fact that I got hurt makes me feel like I don't want nobody else to be hurt. So that gotta be the thing where it says separating the wheat from the tare. Y'all gotta be some tares. Because I don't understand that. In my mind, in my heart, all the hurt that I was given, I don't want nobody else to feel that. mind you, I'll take on some hurt because I don't want nobody else to feel that. But let's also be mindful, and let's also think that God don't want me to hurt. I can transmute the energy for a reason. God wants me to understand it, understand it, and move on. Like I told y'all, when I saw that man the other day, and I cried. I came here and I cried online with y'all. This is how much I know God listens, right? Because the same nigga that I was crying about when I got online and I said I watched that man go through them people and the arrogance, like his stature, he just knew he was the dude. And what did I say? He's not the person in charge. Guess what? His ass got fired. God was listening. I cried about that because I saw how he came through there. Which is another thing that, even led me to believe that God's still listening. God ain't playing about the things that are being, what is it called? Libation or for some reason I want to say supplication. I don't even, let me see what this word is. But God is still listening. And why did that do that? Okay, we back to code again. All of a sudden the code popped up. But that's not what I asked for. So let me close this out. But now I know how to close it out. But the code popped up. The fact that I cried, it got sent into heaven. God don't play about that, because literally he thought he was untouchable. And the fact of the matter is, I still think that there's more. I still think that there's more to be dealt with, because I don't think you just get to, kind of do what you did and then you just get to fade away nice and, cushy with our money. Nope. The word supplication means a humble request or plea, often made by somebody in authority or to a higher power. Okay, so I guess it was the right word, but that's the word that I heard. But I cried because to me, the arrogance of the people that are literally putting their foot on people's necks, you wake up and you're just mad. How do you wake up and you're mad and you have everything at your disposal? You're ungrateful. And it's weird that people do that on a daily basis. They wake up and they figure out how to take from smaller people. Oh, it's funny. Just like them people that I told you run them companies. Them driving, and they somebody issued that letter and they found out that they found it funny to now take from, the common people. But y'all don't realize that I just was talking to Regina over here. Regina was talking about the wealth transfer and things of that nature. Y'all stole something. And then instead of you trying to figure out how to make it better after you stole it, you only kept trying to be a tyrant on the people. Y'all do realize that God will let you do something for a little bit of time just to see, what you're going to do. And just because you got away with it don't mean you actually got away with it. It could just be the thing in the moment. Well, okay, they did that. Let me see what they do with the next thing. Because I told y'all, even in 2021 and 22, when I sat here, I kept saying, God, these people keep trying to attack me. Can you get them? God said, are you okay? Yes, God, I'm okay. Okay, well, did you lose anything? Are you still whole in your body? Yes, I'm okay. All right, let them hit you again. It wasn't about me. I could take it, but I didn't like it. But every time something happened and I kept saying, God, I know you see this and I know you see these people doing this. God kept asking me, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. It was annoying to me. But literally that was every time I went to God about it, because literally I know from my mouth to God's ears, listen, because I'm a good person. I don't do stuff to people. And so Every time God kept asking me. Mind you, do you know how many times this happened where I'm watching people do stuff? I can pinpoint the people that did it. And I'll be saying, God, get them. You know what God said? Are you okay? My answer was always yes, because I didn't lose anything. Even though they tried to do what they did, I didn't lose anything. My body was still whole. It's fireworks coming from the car. The fucking windshield is breaking right in front of me, disappearing. The hoodoo voodoo people was actively, I'm watching this shit. To the tune of, my son was 17 at the time, and I was feeling bad that because of me, he was going through whatever he was going through. But meanwhile, you know what God kept saying? Are you okay? I know they sent that, and I know he even saw it. To the tune of, my son, that don't have nothing to do with nothing, said, Mom, why is that happening? Son, I don't know, but I'm thankful that somebody else sees it, and I'm just not over here bugging, because everything around me turned red. Everything. God, get them. Something's happening. Somebody did, they be talking out the mouth, cursing and spelling. But abracadabra, always. What God said? Are you okay? Did it do anything? Yes, I know you got an accident, but are you okay? Yes, I know this got tore up, but are you okay? Don't worry about that. It's so much more, so much better. Don't worry about it. Even now to this day, I'm still sitting here, and God keeps asking me the same exact thing. Are you okay? Yes, God, I'm okay. Okay, well, nothing has happened. Even though it looks like this, nothing has happened. But God, why you keep letting them do this? Mind your business. Worry about yourself, and you can handle it. You got it. You're okay. To the tune of, literally not more than about 2 weeks ago, I literally said something else out of my mouth because I had just had enough. Like, God, I'm tired of these people being allowed to do this. You know what shows up? A scripture out of nowhere. God asking me again, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Okay, well, I'm showing you these things because if you're asking for something, you have to be okay with how I do it. And as long as you're okay, you're more than okay because you woke up, you ain't died. It's fine. Mind you, even when I started thinking, certain things instantly, God put me right back on track. I showed you this because I need for you to see it. Don't take it in, in your personal feelings. I just need for you to see it. But also know that this happened, but this happened so this could happen. You know those things where they say, somebody crawled so you can run? This had to happen in order for this to happen. Y'all remember when I gave y'all that message? Because that was the same day I was crying. I was crying because I'm saying, God, these people are not caring about how they're handling, certain situations and how they're handling certain people as they're doing this. Don't worry about that. This had to be done, and look how the masses are now responding. So if it took one bad behavior to now activate the masses, it had to be done like that. I mean, again, we can't ask God for anything and then God not deliver, for one, because God is going to deliver. But also in the process, we can't tell God how to deliver the very thing that we're asking for. I know we want it in a nice little cushy bow. But and it may come in a nice cushy bow. But you can't put God in a box. God's not in a box. God is everywhere. Even when the people came and they said, oh, you teach da-da-da-da, or you're doing this, da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what? If God tells me that I have to go to this location, to this place, and I have to do this in order to recover his people, you can't tell me that I'm wrong. Just because your brain can't fathom that God would send somebody there. God and people sent people to jail, into hell. They wrote it. If it's a lie, they wrote it. Put people in fiery furnaces. If it's a lie, they wrote it. And like I said, it's a lot of truth and a lie. So how are you going to tell me that God didn't send me to do X, Y, Z? Because now you're trying to take control of my journey and you're trying to tell me that God, don't do this. But, okay, so here we are again. It is a thing, like, we ask for knowledge and wisdom, but we also have to ask for understanding, right? Because without one or the other, sometimes it just don't click or it just don't connect, right? And this is where like, we can only stay within the ramifications of the things that we know, right? And so if you only know this part, but this part got taken out and it got put, in the crevices and the creases, because I don't want you to know this part, right? So when you're speaking, you're only speaking from a limited set of knowledge, right? Let's see. It says Exodus 20:3. You shall have no other gods before me. The command implies that other gods exist, but they are false or subordinate. Israel is to worship the one true God. Again, if it's a lie, they told it, right? But the fact of the matter is don't let it go over your head that it says that other gods exist, right? It also says everybody wants to be quick to call them false. If it's a lie, they're telling it. It's right here. But it also says some could just be subordinate, which doesn't mean that they are false. It just means that they fall under the one and only God, right? If it's a lie, they told it. It's right here. In Psalms 82:1, God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges amongst the gods. God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods, right? If it's a lie, they told it. You know what somebody's going to come and say? Somebody's going to come and say, it was the way they translated it, right? No, you can't add your sauce onto the situation. We can only go with what is here, right? And so that's what y'all said. God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges amongst the gods. So whether or not it is a false one or it is a subordinate one, they all existed, right? But there's only one true, right? So then it says, this is often interpreted as God presides over lesser spiritual beings or human rulers, sometimes called gods in a figurative sense. This is like, and I had this with my aunt, right? The other day, me and her was talking. And so I was talking about that lady that stood in front of everybody. And she said, hey, and mind you, I'm not mad at the man. So entertainment purposes only, just so y'all know, because I feel like regardless of the fact of what this person is doing, they keep telling us the truth. I like the truth. So I get it. It's not what you do, but it's how you do it, right? So the lady that stood in front of that, and she said, Latinos for da-da-da-da-da, right? She was happy. The man's hands was all down her body. If y'all, it's right there online. Y'all can go look at it. Like, he went from here to down to here. Okay? So after, she said the Latinos for da-da-da-da-da, and then shit started shaking. The table started rumbling and shit started shaking. She went back and she said, they lied because, no, she said he lied to us. He used us because, no, he used you, ma'am. And actually, he didn't use you. You used yourself, because this is what even my aunt pointed out, right? The whole entire time when they kept saying you're a floating trash can and y'all are just disgusting and da-da-da-da-da, he's telling you about you already in your face. You're just not listening. You think you're exempt, right? This is where people keep falling short. You're not exempt. All right. So now the lady, there's another video, and she says he used this and da 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 da, this, that, and the third. And what they said was, she said he told us. No, he said that he wouldn't mess with the documented. And so my aunt said, well, what she is saying is during the time when, no, ma'am, we can't use that, because literally the fact that they got her there means that she had a personal conversation with these people. Something transpired to get her there. So there was a conversation that they had with her themselves in order to get her to this location. I don't care what he said, because we all heard what he said. We all heard the truth. We keep hearing the truth. I like the truth. So I can't be mad at nobody to tell them the truth, right? So although she wasn't listening, whatever deal she brokered in whatever dark room, hallway, corner, crevice, whatever she did, she made it so that she heard, as long as they didn't fuck with the documented entertainment purposes only, it was going to be okay. And I keep saying, and as so many other people do, it's not okay. It's not okay to do X, Y, Z to anybody. If it's not okay for this person, it's not okay for that person. But what the people didn't hear was she was brokering deals on this side. But mind you, I'm sure some of her family is not documented. So she brokered deals even against her own family, right? So regardless of the fact, we don't know what was said. We don't know how she got there. So we can't say why this lady came and she not hearing everything else that this person has said, because they said what they said many times, like right in people's face. But for some reason they thought they were exempt. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And this is what we have to understand, and this is what we all have to know. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So again, it goes back to, if it's not good for you or yours, if you don't want it to happen to your wife, your children, your husband, your great grandmama, your mama, your daddy, don't want it to happen to nobody else's. You have to make sure that if you're fighting for right, it has to be the right of everyone. You can't fight, hey Chico, love you. You can't make it so that you and yours are exempt and it's okay for everybody else, because guess what you do? You now fall on the side of, wickedness also, because of the fact, and I ain't judging, because that might be your location. Everybody has their part to play. Everybody has their journey, whether or not the minions are here to be minions, and whether or not the wicked is here to be wicked, whether or not the good is here to be good. Either way, if we are making a happy place, for everybody, it has to be where everybody is more than okay. So again, among the gods there is none like you, O Lord. Are there any works like yours? Again, gods here refers to idols or false deities. But among the gods there is none like you, O Lord, nor there are any works like yours. And then somehow they made it fit whatever they thought. But among the gods there is none like you. That means there is none like one and only God. That's it, that's all. Oh Lord, there are none any works like you. But that doesn't necessarily mean, thank you, it doesn't necessarily mean that there are not other ones. It's just none like this one. But again, whatever the interpretation is, could it be translated right? Could it be translated wrong? But you're not going to put on it, or you can't put on it, what you think that it means, because this is what it means. This is what we think that it means, because now somebody's going to come, i.e. the people in them buildings, and they're going to say, this is what it means, and you don't have understanding. But meanwhile, they have understanding while they behind the corner playing with little boys and little girls. So God gave you understanding, but you don't understand that you're not supposed to be around that corner playing with them little kids. Entertainment purposes only. Don't kill the messenger, because guess what? I'm only reporting, news that's currently breaking news. Like, what I'm saying? It ain't breaking. It was already broke. I didn't do it. Don't be mad at me because you did it and now I'm saying it. Yep, that's what I can do for you. You see how easy I can shut your ass up? That's not, like, don't come over here with that. Because at the end of the day, they gonna end, and this is my program because literally you're on my screen. So that's how quickly I can shut your ass up, stupid. Anyway, the next one is, for the Lord your God is God of gods, your Lord of lords, the great God, almighty and awesome, great God, mighty and awesome. Deuteronomy 10:7. Again, saying that one God, and only God, powerful, but there are other ones. And whether or not they're false or whether or not they are just subordinate, they do exist, right? And so we just have to be mindful as to what we're following and who we're following, because it could be anything, right? Now, it's funny how I can sit here in front of y'all and only point out and only say I love God and that's it, that's all. And I can point out, whether it's truth, the lies that could be told or anything else. I ain't said nothing past that. But meanwhile, it'll be dumbass people like this person that will come over here and try to get themselves involved and then not realizing I ain't that type of spiritualist. I'll cuss your ass out. Because God didn't tell me that I gotta listen to foolishness or I gotta partake in foolishness. I mean, I could, but it's my pathway, my journey. And whether or not y'all understand, it's your pathway, your journey. You don't have to partake in the foolishness of the world. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Who determines that? I guess that's going to be y'all. And that's why the people who are saying they have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, I guess that's the reason why that it's okay for them to go in them corners and do that other shit and, come out and then act like they are clean as snow. But mind you, they'll have a lot to say about me showing up every day saying, I love God and y'all should do the right thing by people, because that's wrong. I shouldn't be saying that. Like, you don't have nothing else better to do. Yeah, stay away from y'all. That's what I do. Because it's weird to me that it's being taught for people to do good things in life. Meanwhile, y'all not doing good things. It's also being taught to people that merit wins your duties, your good deeds are what's important. But meanwhile, it's a lot of bad deeds being rewarded. So what y'all want me to do? I mean, I'm not here to tell nobody what to do. All I'm here to do is point out that you're not going to trick me and make me think that I got to listen to anything or I got to follow anything from anybody who is not doing an honorable thing, a truthful thing. Because if y'all love the truth so much, why y'all be so quick to hide that shit that y'all be doing in them corners? That's all I'm asking. So that's the message. Hopefully I delivered it properly. Sorry for the cuss words, but charge it to my head, not my heart. Y'all don't go nowhere. I gotta close this out because I got messages over here. But anyway, thank you for being here. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and see y'all in the next one.